Hello children, let's start our session. Uh, we'll be learning about next lesson, chapter number 11, force and pressure. In class 7, we have learned that motion of an object, that is when an object get displaced due to applied force or force applied, we call that as motion or movement of an object. Then we have learnt about to compare the speed of an moving object, that is which object is moving faster, that is nothing but to find the speed of an moving object. Speed is nothing but the distance covered by an object in a unit time is called as speed of an object. And we know that moving object like a ball rolling on a ground, it slows down, or sometimes it may change the direction, or sometimes it may slow down as well as change the direction. Have you ever wondered what make an object slows down or change the direction? This is change the direction of motion, etc. Now let's recall some of our everyday experiences, like what you see in this picture. What do you make a football to move? We kick faster, kicking. And what do you make the football to change the direction? We kick the ball in the direction opposite to that movement of the ball. And what do you do to make the ball to stop? We uh, give force to stop the ball. And this, if you see that when a hockey player, if he wants to change the direction of the ball, what he does, he flick the ball with a bat. And at the same way, if you see that after a cricket batsman, when he hit a ball, the fielder, how he stops the ball. And in these instances, we can say a force has been applied on a ball when it is kicked, when it is pushed, when it is thrown, or when it is flicked. So from these instances, we understand that force is necessary to make an object to move, to make an object to moving object to come into rest, to make a change in the direction of an object, etc. Now let's learn the definition of force. So from these above examples, what we have learnt is sometimes we push or we pull. So a push or pull on an object is called a force. Push or a pull on an object is called a force. That actions like picking, opening, lifting, kicking, flicking, pulling, if all these actions together, we classify them as either push or pull. So these action usually results in some kind of change in the motion of an object. That is, or we can tell it, these action bring about some kind of change in the state of motion of an object. Now let us see some situation and we can find out what action can be suitable for that situation, and we can group them as push and pull, or push or pull. In some cases both push and pull can be applied. For example, in first case, moving a book placed on a table. This book, we can move the book either by pushing it or by pulling it or by lifting it. So here this action for moving a book on a table can be grouped as both push as well as pull. Now next situation, that is opening or shutting a door. Opening a door, we can open by pulling, or in the same way when the door is, for example, you can imagine for the door on this water tank down in our building, when you open a door of the water tank, you lift it, so it may come this action word pulling or lifting. But when you lift also, we pull the door only. So for this instance, the action will be only pull, pulling force. Now next situation, drawing a bucket of water from a well. When you draw a water from a well, we pull the rope, or we can tell lifting. Or when you, before drawing water, we lower the rope inside the well, so we can call that as lowering. So for these instances, it shows it is pulling force is essential to draw a bucket of water from a well. Next is a football player taking a penalty kick, kicking, that is action word is kicking, or you can tell flying. And kicking means it comes, the force applied here is pushing force, push. Next is a cricket ball hit by a batsman, that is hitting, and while hitting he apply a force, that is pushing force. So the action of this can be grouped as pushing force. So from this different situation, we can understand force is nothing but push or pull on an object is called as force. Push or pull on an object is called as a force. Now, from where this force arises, how force come into action? That is, force arises due to interaction between two objects. Force arises due to interaction between two objects. That means at least two objects must interact for a force to come into play. That is, at least two objects must interact for a force to come into play. For example, you can see this first figure. Man is standing behind a car. In this case, will a car move by itself? No. Now in the second case, if you see, man is pushing a car. Now you can see the car may start moving. So in this instances, we can see this two interaction between two objects. Contact between the two objects is essential. Interaction between two objects is essential. That is car and a man. If they interact, then only force will happen. So he pushes the car so that the car starts moving. Here the force is pushing force. And situation next instance, see, you can see three familiar examples there down, A, B and C. In case A, here both the girls, they are pushing each other. Both the girls are applying the force, that is push force each other. And here in say case B, both the girls are pulling each other. So here the interaction between the two objects is the same, that is they try to pull away from each other. And what about the case C, that is a man and a cow? Here both are cow and a man, both are pulling each other, but the pulling force here is in the opposite direction. Man is pulling in his direction and a cow is pulling in its direction. So from these examples, we can understand that at least two objects must interact for a force to come into play. The force is essential, at least two objects must interact. Thus, an interaction of one object with another object results in a force between the two objects. That is, the interaction of one object with another object results in a force between the two objects. Now we will learn about nature of force. That is, you imagine here in case A. So imagine this is a heavy box, or you can imagine this as a table, heavy table. First you try to push by yourself. When you push, you will find it very difficult to move the table or heavy box. Now you call your friend and ask him to apply the force in the same direction along with you. Now in this case, you can see the box can be moved, because here if the force is applied in the same direction, both the force can be added so that the motion of that heavy load can happen easily. Now you ask your friend to apply the force in the opposite direction of yours. In case of B, you can see that opposite direction. Now in this case, what will happen? The force applied by both the forces applied here will be nullify each other and effect will be zero. So if the forces applied on an object in the same direction, they add to one another, so the movement will be easier. If the two forces act in the opposite direction on an object, the net force acting on it is the difference between the two forces, means differences means it get reduced and they nullify each other, and the net result will be zero, means very less. If they both apply equal force, quantity of force, here we are talking about quantity of force, and the net result will be zero. The force applied, both the force applied will be equal quantity, then the net result will be zero. And if the strength, so this quantity or strength of force, what we call that as magnitude. So again I repeat, the strength of force is called as magnitude. And here in these above examples, we have also specified the direction in which the force acts. So in first case, the direction is in the same direction, and in the second case the direction is in the opposite direction. So here in these instances we have discussed about quantity of force, that is magnitude as well as direction. So we can infer that force has both magnitude and direction. So if the force applied on an object in the same direction, they add to one another, so it becomes doubled. If the two forces acting in opposite direction, the net force will be very less, and the strength of the force, so this quantity or the strength of the force, what we call that as magnitude. Whenever we talk about the quantity or applied force, we also have specified the direction in which the force acts. So force has both magnitude as well as direction. And now this can be understood clearly by one well-known familiar example, that is game of tug of war. In the game of tug of war, if you see, if the two of the team members, when they apply the equal quantity of force on the rope cannot be pulled, but the group or the team which apply more or larger force, they will win the game. So here, that is both the members, they try to pull the rope in their direction, that is opposite direction. Here direction as well as the quantity, the magnitude of the force matters. The force, the quantity, the team which apply the larger force, larger magnitude, they pull it easily in their direction, they win the game. Thus, we can understand that force has both magnitude as well as direction. Now, we'll move on to effect of force. We have learned nature of force. Now we will be learning about effect of force. After force applied, what will happen to the object? If the object is moving object, when an object move, if you apply force, the speed will increase. And that is when the object, if you apply a force in the same direction of a moving object, the speed of an object increases. Or on the other hand, if you apply a force in the opposite direction of a motion of an object, the speed will reduce. So we can tell that force can change the speed of a moving object. And when an object, when it is at rest, if you apply force, it starts moving. So it make an object move from rest. Next, third one, it change the direction of a motion of an object. If you kick, if you apply force, it may change the direction of a moving object, and as well as it bring about change in shape of an object. And this change in shape of an object, you can easily, so you take one rubber band, and if you apply force and if you pulling force, you can see that shape of that rubber band increases, and if you relieve that pulling force, then again it come back to its original shape. So on the anyway, the change of the rubber band is being changed. So these are the effects of force. So again I repeat, effects of force. Force may make an object to move from rest. It may change the speed of a moving object. It may change the direction of motion of an object. It bring about a change in the shape of an object. And these effect of force we will be learning one by one in a detailed manner in our next session.